In Orlando, the world's capital of themed escapism, Walt Disney World has ruled the kingdom for over 50 years. Known as the most magical place on Earth, it's the largest Disney destination in the world, with 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, more than 25 Disney hotels offering 29,000 rooms, a massive transportation network, all spread across land roughly twice the size of Manhattan. But recently, something monumental opened its gates, and it wasn't Disney. On May 22, 2025, Orlando welcomed its first brand new theme park in decades, Epic Universe, Universal's 3rd park in Florida. It's a bold $7 billion bet designed to transform Universal Orlando Resort, the 2nd most visited paid destination in Florida, into a week-long vacation spot and maybe take a little market share from the mouse next door. With sprawling themed lands, next-gen rides, and an ambition to match its name, Epic Universe is already being called a game-changer in the theme park industry. Travel agents are buzzing, fans are debating, and analysts? They're watching one thing closely. Will this be the moment Disney World finally feels the pressure? The Data Sorcerer has taken a closer look through the numbers and made a thoughtful analysis. And today, I'll be his narrator and guide you through its findings as we proudly present Disney World versus Epic Universe. Big bang or not? To understand what's at stake, let's look at the playing field before Epic Universe opened. Pre-pandemic, excluding water parks, both resorts showed healthy, sustained growth. From 2011 to 2019, Disney rose from 47 to 59 million visitors, while Universal went from 14 to 21 million. Both destinations experienced massive drops during the pandemic, but attendance gradually returned in the following years. Disney nearing 50 million in 2024, and Universal close to 19 million. More than half less than Disney World. But here's where it gets interesting. Disney's edge isn't just attendance. It has established itself as a classic American rite of passage. It mainly targets families, has unmatched global brand recognition, and most of all, deep-rooted nostalgia. Guests tend to stay longer, spend more per day, and often remain fully on Disney property, dining, shopping, and lodging without ever setting foot outside. Universal, on the other side of the fence, has built a very solid reputation for high-intensity, thrill-driven, and more adult-oriented attractions. Before Epic Universe, most guests saw Universal Orlando as a quick stop, 2 to 4 days at most, often tacked onto a Disney World trip rather than a full vacation destination of its own. But Epic Universe isn't just about rides. It's about keeping guests on site for more nights, more meals, more memories, and maybe take some guests away from Disney World. Epic Universe is Universal's boldest move in decades. This summer, we finally stepped through its gates. And needless to say, it's easily one of the most immersive, most technologically advanced parks we've ever seen. You enter through the towering Kronos Gateway, monumental, carved with detail that feels alive. Beyond it, the real journey begins. Here, you don't just walk from land to land. You cross portals that transport you into entirely new worlds. The Isle of Berk, where dragons soar, Super Nintendo World, bursting with color and interactivity, the Ministry of Magic, blending Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts into a living, breathing city. And Dark Universe, where Universal's classic monsters rise again. The buzz? Electric. Reviewers whisper the same refrain. It rivals and sometimes even surpasses Disney at its best. And they're not wrong. The Ministry of Magic alone, a breathtaking recreation of 1920s Parisian boulevards, is a work of art, recounting one of the best forced perspective we've ever seen with a recreated Sacré-Cœur Basilica at the distance. But no great kingdom is without its flaws. During our stay, we noticed, among other things, long wait times despite low crowd levels, a largely outdoor attraction lineup that struggles in the rain, with lots of reliability hiccups, and by that I mean a lot. And yes, be prepared. Shade is surprisingly rare at Epic, something baffling in terms of conception under the increasingly extreme Florida sun. Yet the park's crown jewels shine brightly. Monsters Unchained, Battle of the Ministry, Stardust Racers, already hailed as instant classics, attractions that push the entire industry forward. For Comcast, Universal's parent company, Epic Universe is more than a park. It is a statement, the crown jewel of their ever-expanding destinations and experiences. But with all of this being said, let's take a deep dive into Universal's strategy for Epic. Universal designed the Epic Universe ticketing strategy to extend length of stay and spread demand across the whole resort. To that end, since opening, Universal has leaned on three things. Multi-day tickets. At first, guests had to buy 3- or 4-day passes that only included 1 day at Epic, pushing them to spend the rest at the other Universal parks. Soft capacity. Single-day tickets were kept scarce and released gradually, both to control crowds and stabilize ride reliability. Resort repositioning. Universal sent a clear message. This isn't just another park. Epic transforms Universal Orlando into a full week-long Universal vacation. No longer just an add-on to Disney World. But has it worked? The numbers tell a complex story. Attendance surged at launch, but daily averages have settled around 15,000 to 20,000 guests per day, a strong figure, though far from full capacity. The ceiling for full capacity is slowly rising toward 45,000 guests per day, but for now, attendance growth remains measured. Still, milestones shine through. Monsters Unchained hit 1 million riders in just 2 months. And Orange County, where Disney World, Universal Orlando, and SeaWorld are located, saw a record in tourism taxes in June with $34 million collected, thanks in part to Epic's arrival drawing record numbers of visitors to Florida. Not a flawless start, but a powerful one. And yet the real question lingers. Are these visitors leaving Disney behind? Disney World is no stranger to competition. Over the past 50 years, it's weathered recessions.
Today is Black Monday, the day the Dow dropped more than 500 points.
New rivals.
Yeah, now we've got Universal Studios. With a grand opening tomorrow, Universal is the latest major attraction to open up in the Orlando area.
Pandemics.
Major breaking headline, Disney closing up. You have until Sunday night to visit the park before it closes until the end of the month.
Hurricane.
Orlando's famed theme parks announced that they are closing as the area prepares for Hurricane Ian.
Even its own periods of creative drought.
I know people are sad to lose some of these originals, lose some of the storylines and the characters and stuff that has been around for a long time. But for my personal opinion, goodbye, I'm excited for the next thing.
The question now is, can it weather this? A brand new competitor on a scale Orlando hasn't seen in a generation? The first hints of Epic Universe go back to 2015, when Universal quietly acquired hundreds of acres of land south of its existing resort. By 2018, the first name of the park, Fantastic Worlds, slipped into public view through trademark filings. Permits and infrastructure projects soon confirmed something massive was underway. Then, in August 2019, Universal officially announced
Epic Universe right here in Orange County. And
Disney didn't wait to react. Long before Universal's press conference, they had already been preparing their defense and chose to refresh and fortify every single park at Walt Disney World. Animal Kingdom with Pandora, the world of Avatar, Hollywood Studios with Toy Story Land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and Mickey's Runaway Railway. The slow reinvention of Epcot with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Journey of Water inspired by Moana and the Test Track Refresh. And finally, Magic Kingdom with Tron Light Cycle and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. With all of this, Disney's strategy wasn't about opening a fifth gate, but about sustaining demand across the existing four. By rolling out a steady stream of additions in each park over the course of a decade, Disney ensured that guests couldn't just visit one park with just one shiny new thing and feel complete. They needed to return to all four, often extending their stays and planning repeat visits to keep up with the constant wave of new offerings. Yes, never in more than 50 years has there been so much planned for Disney World, and major projects are already on the calendar. In 2026, a Mandalorian overlay is planned for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run at Hollywood Studios, and a Muppets-themed reimagining of Rock and Roller Coaster will debut. In 2027, a massive Tropical America's Land will welcome guests at Animal Kingdom. Towards 2028, a new Monsters, Inc. land with a suspended coaster should open at Hollywood Studios. Towards 2029, a Cars area should be added to Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. And towards the end of the decade, the much-anticipated and ambitious Villains Land will open at Magic Kingdom. This confirms Disney's long, deliberate, and powerful pattern: no park left behind. But that's not all. Disney offsets a competitor's one-time spike by dripping openings with big headliners, like Guardians, Tron, Tiana, or the Test Track Refresh, interleaved with smaller yet buzzworthy updates, like new parades, fireworks, shows, and meet and greets. Timing matters too. In the May to July 2025 timeframe, precisely when Epic Universe dominates the headlines, Disney rolls out 2 new shows at Hollywood Studios, a nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom, and the Test Track overhaul at Epcot, ensuring Walt Disney World has fresh hooks in every park, just as planning blogs and social feeds explode with Orlando hype. The result? A system-wide sense of constant newness rather than isolated bursts. But is that Disney's last secret? The real moat lies in what's known as the Disney bubble. It's the idea that once you enter Walt Disney World, especially if you stay on site, you're enveloped in a self-contained universe. Disney controls nearly every aspect of the trip: transport, payments, dining, music, landscaping, even the signage. You're not in Florida anymore. You're in Disney World. This combination of physical isolation on a property the size of San Francisco, seamless convenience, and all-encompassing theming makes leaving the property both unnecessary and less appealing. And whether by design or not, it functions as a powerful moat against Universal's new park. So with all of this in play, one question remains: is Disney weathering the epic storm? So the game has only just begun, with both Disney and Universal recently revealing their first results since the opening of Epic Universe. On the Disney side, attendance at Walt Disney World for 2025 seems broadly flat year over year. So no massive surge and no collapse, despite Epic Universe. But something fascinating appears. Resort occupancy and room night volumes rose, which means guests were staying longer. And that drove most of the domestic parks' revenue gains. As a result, Disney's Parks division hit record profits, powered not by higher turnstile counts, but by fuller hotels, premium experiences, and higher per-guest spending. And that's the modern Disney strategy in motion. Less about breaking attendance records, more about building a resort ecosystem that keeps every visitor and their vacation budget inside the kingdom a little bit longer. Meanwhile, at Universal, business is also thriving with its biggest jump in years. But executives were candid about the growing pains of their new flagship. In fact, the numbers reflect both promise and pressure. Universal's parks revenue for Q3 2025 surged with an impressive 19% increase year over year, largely driven by the opening of Epic Universe. But the company acknowledged soft opening costs and ride reliability challenges. In short, the debut was spectacular, but not yet smooth. Yes, Epic Universe has opened with dazzling ambition. A world where technology, storytelling, and immersion push the limits of what a theme park can be. But early data already suggests that brilliance comes with a cost. Limited capacity, highly complex operations, and too few attractions capable of absorbing the crowds they inspire. A real paradox. A park designed for the future, yet constrained by its own sophistication. And as the numbers rise, those limits could define its early years. So now, here's where it all leads. Projecting attendance for the full year based on the most recent data for both destinations. Walt Disney World should remain relatively stable, with around 49 million visitors, excluding water parks. Universal Orlando is set for a major boost thanks to Epic Universe. However, with reported ticket sales, Epic Universe will likely be the least visited Disney or Universal park in 2025, mainly because it won't operate for a full year. The Data Sorcerer expects attendance for 2025 to be around 4.5 million visitors, possibly as high as 5 million, but unlikely to exceed 5.6 million, the threshold needed to surpass Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, the least visited Disney theme park in the world in 2024. Altogether, this would bring the Universal Orlando Resort to around 23 to 24 million guests in 2025. That would place Universal at roughly half of Disney World's annual attendance. A strong performance overall, but still some distance from posing a real challenge to Disney's dominance in Florida. If anything, Orlando as a whole is benefiting from the buzz. With Disney maintaining its lead while Universal enjoys its biggest boost in decades. This isn't the first time a new park has opened in Orlando, and both players have grown. In the past, Disney executives noted that major local openings often lift everyone, as more people choose to visit Central Florida in the first place. As a result, several airlines are expanding direct service to Orlando to meet rising customer demand. So has Disney World survived the opening of Epic Universe? The early answer is yes, and with confidence. Universal is also winning big so far, which means the real winners here are the guests. But the battle isn't over, and rest assured, the Data Sorcerer will be watching. And now, we want to hear from you. Which destination do you think is playing the smarter game right now? And of course, what's your take on Epic Universe after some months of opening? Does it live up to the hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed our very first ride, don't forget to like it, share it, and to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next adventure into the world of themed entertainment. Thank you for riding with us today. It has been a privilege to guide you through the hidden layers of themed entertainment, the numbers, the wonders, the stories untold. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we hope you'll return once more. This has been the Data Sorcerer.